Huge savings going on here at Viral Hip Hop News. If you've ever wanted to promote your brand with the platform, there's never been a better time to do so. Email me, dlsmediainc1@gmail.com for details. And if you're a subscriber, go to my channel memberships available on my homepage, Sam I Am Viral Podcast, exclusive content available to all my channel members. Click the link, find out how you can join. Now, let's go. We'll talk about Jaleel White real quick. He's selling a book, obviously. He's been on like a little bit of a run, a tour run, saying a lot of stuff. But I mean, when you're selling a book, you do say a lot of stuff. But I want to get your thoughts on what he said about black shows, in particular in the 90s. We talked about black shows and the importance of black shows in the 90s. And I don't think there was one we didn't genuinely love. This may surprise you. It may not. I want to hear your thoughts.
Being a part of the TGIF brand sometimes makes you feel like you don't completely belong in the pantheon of blackness. You know, blackness has been treated as a very monolithic experience in entertainment. You know, if it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. And you know, sometimes I feel left out of that. You know, so it's like you know, like if there's ever a poll and they say, "Oh, what are your favorite black shows?" and you know, Martin is in there or Living Single or any of those kinds, I already know we coming in last. But if there's ever a poll and it's just like your favorite family shows and suddenly Martin's not in there or whatever, all of a sudden we rank really high. And so it's kind of interesting in how we look at ourselves, to be quite honest, even as black folks. And somehow I became a symbol for black male nerd culture, to be quite honest. I mean, I know this for a fact. Any brother that grew up in the 80s and 90s, well, 90s and 2000s, wearing glasses, he was told at school he looked like me. He was called Urkel. And he didn't look anything like me, guaranteed. But still, his peers would find a way to call him Urkel, and even girls to that extent. So it's really humbling to see how far nerd culture has come, and really it's not nerd culture, it's smart culture, it's hobbyist culture, it's skateboarders, and I could never have known in a million years that I would be the face of that. I never could have known that.
All right. Before you go in, I want to say
go
a few
ahead.
things because I was okay with it until he brought up Martin and Living Single. And then you start thinking about those other shows, Cosby Show, Living Single, Martin, Family Matters. Wayans Brothers, right. All that was in there, right? And although they had a different, they may have been from different areas. I know that the Wayans Brothers, they were from New York at the time. Mm-hmm. Martin was from Detroit. I forgot where Living Single, maybe out of Chicago, things like that. Mm-hmm. When you look at Martin owned a radio station. Gina was a VP at her sales rep.
Right.
Tommy may not have had a job, but he was the most articulate, most well-dressed person on that motherfucker. Pam she did something in the marketing firm. When you look at Living Single, Queen Latifah owned her own magazine. Pamela was a lawyer. You had Overton that was a plumber.
Good point.
You had all these independent entrepreneurs giving black excellence. I don't see where the hood was. Now, when you talk about
good point.
these shows, when it lines up to Family Matters, I don't think that we've ever had a conversation, when we talk about black shows in the 90s and not brought up Family Matters.
Right.
Because it was important. Yes, it was different, but it was still important. And do I think that Family Matters would line up against those shows and come last? Yeah, to some, probably. But that doesn't take away its value. And that doesn't damn sure, I don't like the fact that Jaleel White tried to diminish all the greatness of those black shows just because he came in last on those shows. So what's your thoughts, bro?
Nah, I mean, I think you broke it down perfectly. I didn't even like, it's been so long since I seen them shows that I kind of forgot what those people actually were, but that's amazing. You know what I mean? That we had those images. And even like the Cosby Show, a doctor, a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like all these are positive image as opposed to, I don't see what the issue is, Jaleel. Because, you know, look at Love and Hip Hop. Look at these different, you know, shows. Like, what do these bitches do? You know what I mean? Like, but scratch and claw and drink liquor all day and wear wigs and fake ass lashes all day and cuss at each other.
Fight all day. Yep.
Right. We don't have none of that. Even like the Jamie Foxx show, you know, the whole family had a hotel.
Owned a hotel.
Wayans
Brothers, he owned a newsstand, and Pops owned a restaurant.
Right. So, I mean, that was the golden era right there. So I don't see like I think I was trying to like when I was listening to him like where's he going with this? You know what I mean? Because they all have their significant value, especially in our lives, the 80s and 70s babies, and even some of the 90s babies.
Yep.
You know, the early 90s. These shows are classics. These shows help, shape the moral fabric of a lot of families and the way people do things now. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. So nothing hood about those shows. Maybe they would cuss more. Some of the scenes might be a little bit more dramatic than what you're going to see on Family Matters. But still, man, I think all of those were great shows. And now that you bring up the images, and once again, images, look how important it is right now. Yeah. Look how important that is, man. Wow.
Some of them shows made it cool to be black.
Facts.
Some of them shit made, and even Urkel, like, okay, yeah, you were a black nerd, but you were the most popular black nerd on the fucking planet.
Yeah, genius.
On the planet.
Yeah.
Creating clones. You got Urkel bots and all this shit. You were a genius, and you were the coolest nerd on earth. I feel like because he's promoting a book and because he's just a little bitter, honestly, that maybe he came in last to some exceptional shows in his mind, that he had to kind of throw something on it. And it's just black people just like hood stuff. No, those images didn't make me think of hood one bit when I thought about it. I wanted to be Tommy Strong. I wanted to be Martin. I wanted to be, I forgot brother's name. We actually interviewed him, T.C. Carlson from Living Single, the cool suave.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to, you know what I mean? You aspired to be these people. You aspired to be with black people, and it made you enjoy it a little better. You can't tell me anything you watch now gives you that feeling. And I'm thinking about Moesha. I'm thinking about the D.L. Hughley show. There were even other shows. What's the show what LL had back in the day? In the House.
Yeah.
There was some Fresh Prince. There was some dope-ass shows out there that gave you a positive outlook. And yeah, you might have been on ABC following Full House, so you understand the dynamic may have to be a little different. The language that you speak may not be received as well as black people, but black people still love that shit. You got a black family in Chicago, wife, husband as a cop, 3 kids, taking care of their business. What's there not to love about that shit? I just because he's selling a book, I understand, but I just don't think it's fair for him to throw that out there like that.
Now, like even opposed to like I Love and Hip Hop or some of those shows, a single woman.
Yep.
Who's between like 3 or 4 men,
yep,
fighting, scratching. Like we have fallen, man. And a lot of it has to do, it's music,
yep,
but it's also the TV shows,
yep,
and a lot of different things, man, that help shape, Could you imagine if we were to continue shows like that, or the music would have stayed at a high frequency?
We need shows like that.
We need them.
We need them, bro.
We need great artists that are going to give us great, inspiring, uplifting music.
Yeah.
We need that. And we don't have to go search for them and say, oh, Raspity and, oh, this person. No, they should be in abundance.
Should just know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's actually a great topic, man. And it's just important. I mean, images is probably the most important. I mean, look at any other race of people, the images that they get to see.
Yep.
Look at East Indian people right now. Doctors, lawyers, restaurant owners, all these positive images. You don't see them, doing some crazy stuff. It might happen. I'm sure it's happening.
Yeah, what? Go to a club. You see that shit?
Right. But it's not like promoted, and they're not like, pushing that. Right. Some of these races, you get expelled from doing some nutty shit.
Mm-hmm. So
it's just like, come on, man, and we're such a great people that it hurts to see us, in such a way. But hey, man, we'll keep talking about it and pushing the envelope, man.
For sure. Great topic.
Definitely, yeah.